Hello and welcome to the PCM Tech Help Show. I am your host, Craig Chamberlain, and on this video, we're going to be doing another iCast. Now, the iCast series is just for you, my subscribers. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you might have, and it might make it into a video. But either way, I'll probably answer your question, if it doesn't slip through the cracks. Some of them do, unfortunately. Anyways, don't forget to swing by my website at pcmtechhelp.com. I have over 80 free downloads right there at the download section. Just click free downloads right at the top. I also have on the right hand side, you can connect to me on all the major social networks and my site. And so let's go ahead and get started. Are you setting yourself, well, let's not say that. Are you learning to succeed? Now, this is something very personal to me. It's one of my favorite topics to cover. I recently did a video on are you setting yourself up for success. Now, setting yourself up for success means surrounding yourself with people who are positive and reinforcing to you. And this can become very difficult, with friends and family because they don't see you as a professional in many cases. Now, the second step beyond the setting yourself up for success is you need to look into, are you learning to succeed? Learning is the key word in that sentence. Learning is a very difficult process for people to understand. It took me a long time to finally accept what learning actually is. Okay? Colleges deceive us when we go to school. They just do. And I don't think they do it intentionally. I think they have our best interests at heart. But a college education is a very limited learning experience. Okay? Because it's learning without experience and without failure. Okay? In college, what you essentially learn is fundamentals, okay? So concepts. You learn troubleshooting. You learn problem solving, okay? But you don't really learn work ethic. You don't learn failure. You don't learn how to overcome obstacles. I mean, real practical, real world things that don't come in the college experience. You might overcome like a test or something you can study for. I mean, there's always those kinds of things that you do overcome in college. And I'm not saying college isn't worth it because I went to college, totally worth it. But the biggest thing that I learned in college wasn't the actual material. So in other words, when I went to college for computers, I learned a decent amount about computers. But mostly I learned how to learn about computers. Does that make sense? So in essence, I didn't walk out of there ready to do my job. Okay, and you won't. Most of you won't. When you go to school, or if you don't go to school, you don't walk out into the workforce knowing how to do a job. Okay, you walk out into the workforce knowing how to learn how to do a job. This is a very tough concept for people to get beyond. That's why I titled this video, "Are You Learning to Succeed?" Because you need to learn every day at whatever job you decide to take. Okay, so whether you went to college or not, it's irrelevant. Okay, this is practical, real life experience. Okay, once you get into a work environment, it's at that point that you cannot let yourself get niched. Okay, this is a very critical thing. You need to take steps every day to make sure that you're learning something new wherever your dream may be. Okay, so if you end up at a job packing grocery bags, nothing wrong with that. You need the money. I get it. But if your dream isn't to pack groceries, then you need to be focusing on learning outside of that experience. You need to continue to study. You need to get your hands dirty. You got to get your hands on it. For example, if you're with computers, you got to build them. Okay? You got to rip them apart. You got to break them. You got to boot them up. You got to spend time on it. Because that's the only way you're going to learn is through exposure. I tell people this all the time. Exposure, exposure, exposure. Most important learning thing you'll ever get. Exposure is another word for experience. I don't like to say experience because it's been watered down. Experience is exposure. The more you expose yourself to the material you want to do for a living, you have no idea how much you're going to learn on accident. You have no idea. You're going to wake up 6 months after exposing yourself to it a couple hours a day. You're going to be like, wow, look how far I've come. I know so much more now than I did 6 months ago on accident. It comes on accident. Because the great thing about being passionate about a topic is that you just naturally, you just absorb it. It's like you're a sponge for that area, whatever you're passionate about. So I really wanted to emphasize that on this video. Okay, that's one of the best things I think anybody can do for themselves is make sure that you're exposing yourself to the proper material. That way you can absorb the knowledge necessary, the real world knowledge, not book smarts, not all that stuff. You need to actually get your hands in it, your head in it, and get dirty. Now, if you're fortunate enough to land a job where you're doing what you love, then you've got the double win, okay? Because then every day for 8 hours, you need to actively pursue failures. You need to break stuff. You need to do the wrong thing. You need to take some risks. And you need to keep pushing yourself beyond your normal comfort level and start exposing yourself to new areas all the time. Because that's how you learn, is through discomfort and through failure, okay? It took me a long time. I didn't come up with this PCM Tech Help overnight. If you go back to my original videos, they're terrible. They're freaking terrible. I mean, I still don't know what the heck I'm doing, to be absolutely honest with you. I've been doing this for 3 years. I still have no clue. I mean, it's working. Something's working, but I haven't landed it. You know, what is it that's working? But this is a culmination of 3 years of failures, okay? I was like, oh crap, that didn't work. I got to do this. Oh, that didn't work either. I got to do this. And sometimes I get so frustrated, I throw my hands up in the air and I walk away from it for a couple weeks. And then I come back because I love it so much. And I'm like, okay, let's try it again. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let's just do. And like even this iCast series, this is an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work, but if it works, then I'll stick with it. But as you can tell, I've switched my platform so many times, I haven't found something that's really worked for me. But that's what it is trying new things, taking the risk. Okay, that's it. I'm not trying to talk myself up here, but that's what learning is. That's how you experience real, true learning. That's real experience. You're exposing yourself, taking risks, and moving beyond it. Do you move beyond your comfort level? That's my question for this video. Have you moved beyond your comfort level, or do you just do what you already know? Because if you're just doing what you already know, you're falling behind. I mean, that's just how the world works. Okay, if you're not learning, somebody else is. Okay, take advantage of those opportunities. So that's all there is to this video. I know it was kind of a serious, heavy video, but hopefully it helps some of you out. If you have any questions, don't forget, you can find me on my website, pcmtechhelp.com. You can ask any questions there. You can also go to the right sidebar of my website, connect to me on any of the social networks. You can ask me questions there as well. You can also become a PCM Techie. If you go to the website, click Community. PCM Techies, it's free. It's just a community. You can ask me questions and things there. You can also, what was I? Oh yeah, there's also the free download section, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So, that's all there is to this video. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you at the next one.